Stop breathing for 7 full seconds. Gorgeous. Because in the next 8 seconds, I am handing you the single most ruthless, most luxurious, most marriage-guaranteeing rule that has ever left my crimson lips. Never, under any circumstance, for any man, for any amount of I love yous, for any promise of one day, for any tear-filled speech about how you're different, give him full girlfriend privileges, full wife privileges, full live-in privileges, full emotional exclusivity, full sexual access on demand, full future planning, full Sunday mornings in his kitchen, full introducing him as my man energy until he has slid a diamond on that left ring finger, signed the papers in front of witnesses, and made you his legal, public, forever wife in front of God and every ex who ever doubted you. I learned it the hardest way possible after wasting 2 entire years of my prime on a situationship who swore I was the one. Moved me across 3 states for him. Let me decorate his penthouse. Cook 5-course dinners. Plan imaginary weddings in my head. Gave him every inch of my body whenever he snapped his fingers. Exclusivity. Loyalty. Emotional labor. The whole fantasy. And watched him propose to the very next girl 6 months after I finally walked away with nothing but stretch marks and a broken heart. Then I flipped the script so completely, the universe itself applauded. I met a tech billionaire who wanted everything on date 3. Wanted me moved in by date 10. Wanted the full wife experience without the wife title. And I looked him dead in the eyes over a candlelit table at Le Bernardin. Smiled the slowest smile he had ever seen. And said, "Ring first, everything else second." Then finished my Dover sole. Kissed his cheek. And walked out in 6-inch Louboutins without looking back. 11 months later exactly, he was on one knee on a yacht anchored off Capri. 8-carat oval diamond shaking in his hand. Tears rolling down his face because he said not having full access to me every single day almost killed him, and he never wanted to feel that emptiness again. I have used this exact ring first. Everything else second rule on Wall Street titans who close 9-figure deals before breakfast. On European royalty, who were literally raised in palaces. On Grammy winners who have women rewriting their own standards just to keep them. On crypto whales who buy islands when they are bored. On old money heirs in London who think commitment is for poor people. On Saudi princes who have never heard the word no. And every single time, the result is identical. The ones who are serious propose faster than they ever thought humanly possible. The ones who aren't disappear quietly into the night, saving me years of my life, tears, and therapy bills. Tonight I am giving you the complete, no stone unturned, psychologically lethal playbook. Exactly what to withhold. Exactly how to withhold it without losing him. Exactly what to give instead to keep him addicted and sprinting toward the jeweler. Exactly how to say no with a smile that makes him thank you for it. Exactly how to make the chase so delicious that putting a ring on it becomes his only piece. His only goal. His only obsession. I am talking about the rule that separates the wives the world envies from the girlfriends the world forgets. The rule that turns good men into shut up and take my last name husbands and weak men into cautionary tales their friends whisper about on private jets. If you have ever given wife benefits to a boyfriend and cried when he still wouldn't commit. If you have ever moved in to save money and watched him relax into permanent bachelorhood. If you have ever said, "I love you" first and felt the power shift forever. If you have ever cooked, cleaned, planned, supported, and sacrificed for a man who still called you my girl instead of my fiancé. If you have ever let him have you completely while he gave you maybe. If you have ever stayed after he showed you the ring was never coming. Stay glued to the screen. Because tonight you stop auditioning for wife with girlfriend behavior and start making him earn the full version of you the only way a real man ever should. With a proposal, a ring, and a promise he can never break. Hit that subscribe button and turn on every single notification right now. Because queens do not give wife privileges to boyfriends. They get proposed to, pursued, and protected like the rare, priceless treasures they are. Here are the exact 5 things you withhold until the ring is on your finger and the date is booked. Cohabitation. full sexual access on demand, emotional wife energy, public this is my man exclusivity, and future planning as a married couple. Everything else is on the table. But these 5 stay locked behind a velvet rope that only opens with a proposal. I did it in Monaco when a prince I had been dating for 6 weeks begged me to move into his palace on the hill. Offered me my own wing, my own staff, my own black card with no limit. And I looked him in the eye, kissed his cheek softly, and said, I only unpack my suitcases in my husband's house. Then flew home commercial the next morning just to prove the point. 8 weeks later, he proposed on a 200-foot yacht with his grandmother's 1920s Cartier ring and a firework display that spelled my name across the Mediterranean sky. I did it in Manhattan when a hedge fund god wanted me to leave my West Village apartment and move into his Tribeca penthouse after 3 months. I smiled, said I keep my own keys until I get new ones with my new last name. Kept my lease, kept my doorman who still calls me miss, kept my own bed sacred, and he proposed on month 10 with a ring he had been hiding in his safe since month 5 because not waking up to me every morning was actual torture. I did it in Los Angeles when a Grammy-winning artist wanted sleepovers every single night. Wanted me in his bed whenever he snapped his fingers. Wanted the full girlfriend body experience without the girlfriend title. I allowed one planned night a week maximum. Always left before sunrise with a soft kiss and a see you when I see you. Never spent the full night. Never left a toothbrush. Never let him think he owned my body access. And he proposed on month 7 on stage after his final show because he said the ache of not having me every night was worse than any sold-out stadium high. I did it in Dubai when a royal wanted to fly me private every weekend. Wanted me on his arm at every event. Wanted the world to know I was his before he had earned the right. I said, the world meets my husband, not my boyfriend. Attended 0 events together. Kept my own hotel suite. Kept my own schedule. And he proposed in the desert under the stars with a ring the size of a small planet, because not being able to claim me publicly almost drove him insane. You give just enough to keep him addicted. Just enough to make him lose sleep. Just enough to make him terrified another man will beat him to the jeweler. You give incredible dates that end with a kiss at the door. You give mind-blowing chemistry when you choose. You give laughter that makes him forget every ex. You give softness that feels like home. You give future teasing like one day when Im's someone's wife. That plants the seed so deep he can't unsee it. But you never, ever give the full wife package without the wife title. You keep your apartment in your name only. You keep your own bed sacred. You keep your own closet untouched by his hoodies. You keep your weekends, sometimes booked with girls only. You keep your phone, sometimes on Do Not Disturb without explanation. You keep your heart deliciously guarded behind a smile that says earn harder. You keep Sunday mornings for yourself. For pilates. For matcha. For journaling. For whatever the hell you want. Because Sunday mornings in his kitchen are wife territory, and you are not his wife yet. You keep I love you in your throat until he says it first and backs it with a ring. Because words without hardware are just noise. You keep the full range of your body. Your orgasms. Your naked mornings for the man who paid the ultimate price to have them forever. One of my private queens used this exact rule for 14 months on a man who swore he needed to live together to know if it's real. She kept her own Nolita loft. Saw him 3 nights a week maximum. Always went home or had him leave before dawn. Never left clothes at his place. Never let him leave clothes at hers. And on month 14, he proposed with a 10-carat emerald-cut diamond and a deed to a new Greenwich Village townhouse in her name only because he said living without full access to her was unbearable. Another queen used it on a situationship who kept saying, let's just enjoy this for 18 months. She pulled back to 1 date a week. No sleepovers. No good morning texts from her end. No future talk. And he proposed on month 19 with a ring he had bought on month 6 because the fear of losing the full version of her finally broke him. Another used it on a tech founder who wanted to take it slow while enjoying everything fast. She moved the speed to glacial. Kept her own place. Own plans. Own life. And he proposed on month 8 screaming, "I can't take slow anymore. Marry me tonight." The power is in the scarcity. When you make the full version of you the rarest, most expensive experience on earth, only available after the ultimate commitment, you force him to decide. Either he rises to husband level or he watches another man do it for him. Drop ring first energy in the comments 5 times right now so every queen watching knows exactly what boundaries we are protecting with our lives from this moment forward. And when he finally breaks, when the ring appears in a velvet box he's been carrying for months, when he drops to one knee shaking like the first time he ever saw you, when he's crying because he finally understands that the full version of you was never free and never will be, when he slides that diamond on your finger and whispers, "Please be my wife," like his entire bloodline depends on your yes. That is the exact moment you smile the slowest, softest, most devastating smile he has ever seen. Let one tear fall for dramatic effect. And give him the complete, unrestrained, forever wife experience he spent months, sometimes years, proving he deserves. You let him wake up to you every morning. Let him fall asleep with you every night. Let him merge closets, merge lives, merge futures. Let him have the Sunday mornings barefoot in the kitchen, the spontaneous trips, the baby when are we having kids talks, the full emotional exclusivity, the full body access, the full heart on a platter love he begged for. Because now he paid the ultimate price and earned the ultimate privilege. I did it with my husband. After 11 months of keeping my own apartment, my own bed, my own rules, he proposed on that yacht in Capri, 8-carat oval catching every ray of sunset, voice cracking, tears streaming. And the second I said yes, I moved in the next week. Gave him every inch of me. Every morning, every night, every secret, every orgasm, every future plan. And he still says to this day the 11 months of waiting were the best investment he ever made, because now he gets the full version of me for the rest of his life. Another queen held the line for 16 months. Never moved in. Never gave wife energy. Saw him 3 nights a week maximum. And when he finally proposed in Paris under the Eiffel Tower at midnight with a 12-carat radiant cut he had custom made in Antwerp, she gave him everything the very next day. Moved into the new penthouse he bought in her name. Merged lives completely. And he still falls to his knees every anniversary thanking her for making him wait, because now he knows he earned heaven. Another held it for 9 months on a man who swore living together first or no ring. She smiled, kept her own place, kept her own rules, and on month 9 he showed up at her door at 3 a.m. with the ring and a moving truck because he said he couldn't spend one more night without waking up to her forever. From this moment forward, you never cook for boyfriend, never clean for a boyfriend, never plan vacations as a couple without a ring, never introduce him as my man to your family, never let his toothbrush live in your bathroom, never give him drawer space, never give him garage access, never give him the full wife fantasy until he gives you the wife title. You never say we when talking about the future until he says, "Will you marry me?" You never let him meet your parents as anything more than a friend until he's your fiancé. You never post couple photos until the ring is on and the date is set. You never, ever, under any circumstance, give wife benefits to a man who hasn't made you his wife. Because the second you do, the chase ends, the respect fades, and the ring never comes. You become the woman whose standards are so crystal clear, so non-negotiable, so luxuriously high that serious men sprint to the jeweler and players disappear before the entree arrives. You become the wife little girls will one day point at and ask, "How did you get him to propose so fast?" And you will smile, touch the rock that took discipline to earn, and say, "I simply never gave him the full version of me until he paid the full price." You become the standard every future daughter will be raised to protect with her soul. The ex every situationship regrets for the rest of his life. The living proof that when a woman finally stops giving everything for free, the right man will pay everything to keep her. Leave "I needed this queen" in the comments if you are ready to close your legs, your heart, your front door, and your future plans until he puts a ring on it. Turn on every single notification because the next masterclass is even stricter, even softer, even more expensive, and it'll see you at the very top, where the sheets are only shared with husbands, the closets only merge after vows, the Sunday mornings only belong to wives, and the queens who held the line wear the biggest, heaviest diamonds the world has ever seen. You were never meant to audition for wife with girlfriend behavior. Darling, you were never meant to cook, clean, comfort, and commit to a man who still calls you babe instead of fiancé. You were meant to be proposed to, pursued, protected, and provided for like the rare, priceless, once-in-a-lifetime treasure you are. Now go hold that line like your entire legacy depends on it. Go make him earn every inch, every morning, every forever, and watch him run to the jeweler so fast the ring arrives before he catches his breath. It'll be waiting at the very top, legs crossed, ring catching the light, smiling because another queen just closed her door until the right one brings the key and the diamond that opens it forever.